Uh, Hello everyone. My name is Jay Shah and we are back with another video. Now this video is special because it is very short on time and I'll be discussing all the MCQs of pharmacology paper 1 from the university point of view, which is MUHS. So without further ado, let's start solving and we'll start in the reverse order from winter 2019 to summer 2013. Okay. So yes. So the first question, and simultaneously, along with me reading the questions, you can also read the questions and see the answers which are given below. But I would prefer that you solve them first beforehand, right? So the first question is, H2 receptor blockade is not seen in which of the following drugs? Is it famotidine, cimetidine, rimantadine, and ranitidine? So we know that A, B, and D, all of them are basically H2 blockers, which is antihistaminics. Rimantadine sounds similar to amantadine, right? Both of them are viral replication inhibitors. So they inhibit the release of viral cells. Right. So the answer is C. 16th is C. Folate deficiency can result from the use of all of the following drugs except. So is it oral contraceptives, cromolyn sodium, phenytoin, or methotrexate? Now we know that methotrexate definitely will cause folate deficiency due to dihydrofolate reductase inhibitor. Phenytoin sodium, yes, it does cause folate deficiency. Oral contraceptives, yes, because it promotes urinary excretion of FIGLU, which is form immunoglutamic acid. So again, all three of them, A, C, and D, will have depletion of folate. So, and cromolyn sodium and ketotifen both are basically mast cell stabilizers. So, mast cell stabilizers have nothing to do with folate deficiency. So, answer is C. The answer is B, cromolyn sodium. Plasminogen activation is brought about by. Now, your plasminogen is converted into plasmin, right? By tissue plasminogen activator generally. So, tissue plasminogen activator compounds such as these or analogs such as these are streptokinase, urokinase. So the answer is C, streptokinase. So plasminogen to plasmin, which will degrade the fibrin blood clots. Chelating agent which is contraindicated in treatment of iron poisoning is it dimercaprol, is it desferoxamine, is it calcium sodium mediate, is it penicillamine? Basically the drug of choice is desferoxamine, but dimercaprol is exclusively used for lead poisoning, which is British anti-Lewisite. So dimercaprol is not the answer. If you do not have desferoxamine, you can use calcium sodium disodium mediate or penicillamine. Penicillamine is generally for copper and calcium disodium mediate is generally for arsenic. Dimercaprol is for lead. Such questions called chelating agent is asked frequently. You will see it in the previous year's question as well. So better look out for that. Right. So the next question is, all of the following are colloidal plasma substitutes except. Now colloidal plasma substitutes, basically they need to increase your volume. Right. So dextran, will it increase your volume? So they are known as volume expanders. Dextran, yes. Hydroxyethyl starch, yes. Hydroxymethyl starch, yes. Polyvinyl pyrrolidone, yes. All of them. Dextrose is basically your normal dextrose is basically your glucose substitute. So dextrose is your normal, it's not a colloid basically, it is a crystalloid, right? All of the following drugs interfere with aggregation of platelets except, is it epoprostenol, aspirin, abscessimab, and ticlopidin. Now all of these are very, very important. You need to know this. Aspirin is a COX inhibitor, so it will inhibit formation of thromboxane A2, which is required for platelet aggregation. Abscessimab is a monoclonal antibody against GP2B3A, again, so that was gone. Ticlopidin is basically PY2Y12, PY2Y12 inhibitor. So it will again inhibit platelet aggregation, right? It will not allow ADP to act to attach to fibrinogen via its receptor, which is PY2Y12. Epoprostenol is the answer there. So abscessimab, ticlopidin, and aspirin. Benzthiazide can produce all of them except can produce all. So which can it produce? So how will you remember thiazides and diuretics? Diuretics, your all the iron concentration will decrease, right? But in thiazides, only your calcium will increase, right? So calcium thiazides are generally weak, so they are calcium sparing, whereas thiazides you'll have all. You'll have hypokalemia, you'll have hypocalcemia, hypochloremia, everything, right? But you for lipids and urea, it will be hyperuricemia and hyperglycemia. So the answer is hypercalcemia. Always remember, thiazides will spare calcium, and loop diuretics such as furosemide, they'll lose calcium as well because they are more stronger. Prominent cardiac action of lignocaine is suppression of. So it's the answer which you need to remember. It is a suppression of automaticity in the ectopic foci which are present in the heart. Right. Always remember. And lignocaine is also the drug of choice for digoxin-induced arrhythmias. Remember that. Beta adrenergic blockers are used in the treatment of all of the following except variant, exertional, unstable, myocardial. So the answer is variant angina, because variant is also known as vasospastic angina. So you have your blood vessels which are contracted, which are constricting. So if you give a beta blocker, beta will promote dilatation. So if you give a beta blocker, it will promote further vasoconstriction. So you don't want that. So that's why beta blockers are contraindicated in the treatment of variant of vasospastic angina. Again, it's a repeat question. I'll let you know when. Atropine substitution, atropine substitute which is used by inhalation in COPD is, so it is ipratropium and tiotropium. It's a straightforward answer. Always remember that. All of the following drugs are used in the treatment of narrow angle glaucoma except, is it pilocarpine? Yes. Mannitol? Yes. Acetazolamide? Yes. Acetazolamide is given orally. Pilocarpine is given topically. Mannitol is basically given IV to reduce the intraocular pressure. Homatropin, no, homatropin will cause mydriasis, right? It will cause mydriasis and it will further promote your glaucoma. It will increase your glaucoma. It will not decrease it. So the answer is homatropin, right? First dose phenomenon is a side effect on initiation of which antihypertensive therapy? Always remember, first dose is with prazosin. Prazosin is an alpha blocker. And there's one more question: hypertensive withdrawal or withdrawal of the thing of that drug leads to rebound hypertension. So that is clonidine. Remember, prazosin is first dose phenomenon, clonidine is rebound hypertension. Propranolol should not be used in combination with. Now you will, propranolol is basically beta blocker that will decrease your heart rate. You will not use it with any other drug which will also decrease your heart rate because that will lead to a conduction block. So you will not use along with verapamil. So answer is B, verapamil. Propranolol is not used with verapamil. So fourth is answer is B. Right. Right. The next question is, adrenaline is added to lignocaine in order to produce all of the following. Now, again, this question is asked in SAQ as well. Like, what's the rationale of using adrenaline along with lignocaine? And the answer is basically in these 3 points as well, because adrenaline will basically constrict your will constrict your blood vessels. So your lignocaine will have a localized effect. Secondarily, your lignocaine will not go into the bloodstream and lead to systemic side effects such as automaticity in ectopic foci. And also, since it has a localized action, you will have to decrease the dose. So reduction in dose requirement of lignocaine. So reduction in systemic absorption, right? Reduction in dose requirement, right? Prolongation of duration of action of lignocaine, right? That is true as well. Prevention of lignocaine-induced bradycardia, no, that's not the answer. So the answer is B. Repeated administration of a drug over a short period of time may lead to. So what is that known as? That is known as tachyphylaxis. So now what is tachyphylaxis? What is tolerance? It is basically the same one and the same thing. What happens is when you have a receptor, you have this drug. When the drug is present for a very long period of time, what happens is there is desensitization of these receptors. How will that desensitization happen? Some of these receptors will not basically respond to that same amount of drug, or your receptors will decrease in number. Basically, they will be taken in by the cell. So that is basically known as tachyphylaxis. So repeated administration of a drug over a short period of time may lead to desensitization of receptors or decrease in response to the same amount of drug, which is known as tachyphylaxis. So this is again an important question, bookmark it. Therapeutic drug monitoring is useful in, so it will be useful in all drugs which will have a low safety margin or in which you will have a therapeutic window. The therapeutic window is basically your dose at which there is action of that drug, so therapeutic level versus the maximal level at which the side effects appear. So the distance between these two, or the gap between these two, is known as the therapeutic window. So drugs which will have a narrow safety margin will require therapeutic drug monitoring, whereas those which have a wide margin of safety will not require therapeutic drug monitoring. So which are the examples I need you to remember? Digoxin is one, phenytoin sodium is one, and other is lithium. Lithium is an antipsychotic, phenytoin is an anti-epileptic, digoxin is used in congestive heart failure. So all of them are narrow therapeutic index drugs. So therapeutic drug monitoring is used in drugs with low safety margin, right? So this is winter 2019 is done. Now let's move to summer 2019. Summer, one sec. It is summer 2019. Yes. Yes. So the answer, the question is intranasal desmopressin is used in. Now desmopressin is basically a vasopressin analog. And what's the another name for vasopressin? It is antidiuretic hormone. So when there will be an antidiuretic hormone deficiency, you will use vasopressin, or you'll use an intranasal form of vasopressin, which is desmopressin. So it is used in central diabetes insipidus. So it's a straightforward answer. Intranasal desmopressin is used in diabetes insipidus. Diuretic that may produce gynecomastia, that is spironolactone. Never forget, spironolactone and amiloride, both of them are eplerenone, amiloride, spironolactone, all of them are basically potassium sparing diuretics. But if they ask drugs causing gynecomastia, always remember disco drugs. What are disco drugs? D is digoxin, I is isoniazid, S is spironolactone, C is cimetidine, E is O or E is basically estrogens. So disco for gynecomastia, remember it. Again, the question has been repeated. Tachyphylaxis is due to, what is it? It is because of due to receptor sensitivity. Your receptors get sensitized. Is it upregulation of receptors? No, that is downregulation of receptors. Is it depletion of neurotransmitter stores? No, the neurotransmitter is there, but your receptor sensitivity to that is decreased, either due to downregulation or because of uptake of that receptor within the cell. Right. Now, the next question is carbonic anhydrase inhibitor meant for ocular installation is, so it is brinzolamide, dorzolamide, both of them are basically carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. Latanoprost, travoprost are basically prostaglandin analogs. Choose the correct statement regarding phase 4 of clinical trials. Remember 4 phases of clinical trials. Again, it is tested on a very large scale. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Now, phase 1 is perfectly healthy volunteers. Phase 2 is a single center study in deceased individuals. Phase 3 is multicentric study irrespective of race and other factors. And fourth is after the drug has been released in the market, what you need to do is post-marketing surveillance. That is there any adverse effect which is being reported when the drug is out in the market? So the answer is D. It is a post-marketing surveillance study, right? Intravenous disodium calcium EDTA is used in. Now I already mentioned it is used in arsenic poisoning. So the answer for 11th is D. It's not lead, it is basically arsenic. You remember that. Lead poisoning is you'll use BAL, which is British anti-leucite. Right. Use of morphine in pediatric patient is contraindicated because morphine being an opioid, it will cause respiratory depression. It's a straightforward answer. You don't need to remember anything else. Highly sensitive to respiratory depression. And opioids basically cause constipation. They don't contribute to diarrhea. So it's not, again, any logical. Wrong statement about drug therapy in geriatric practice. So what is aminoglycoside antibiotics produce more nephrotoxicity? Yes, because with age, your number of nephrons reduce. Therapeutic sensitivity to inotropic drug is reduced as well. That is true. Because of cardiac remodeling, need anticoagulants for atrial fibrillation. Again, that's true as well. Why? Because in AFib, there is a chance that a thrombus may form and it may dislodge and lead to a blockage in your cerebral circulation. Routine use of minoxidil is commonly recommended. No, there is hair loss, but minoxidil is not recommended. So the answer is D. Right. The next question is docusate sodium is. So what is docusate? Docusate sodium is basically a stool softener, right? Bulk purgatives are basically your fibers, and which is the another one which is there. You'll have lactulose, which is an osmotic agent. So docusate sodium is a fecal softener. Remember it. Just go through the classification of drugs used in constipation. Adverse reaction produced by proton pump inhibitor. Now, what will proton pump inhibitor do? It will not produce protons, and as a result, there will be no chloride as well. So it will lead to achloridea. So long-term use of proton pump inhibitors leads to achloridea, and it is known as atrophic gastritis, right? The next question is vasodilator drug used for chronic treatment in congestive cardiac failure. So which one of these is a vasodilator in chronic treatment? So the answer is basically sodium nitroprusside. Why? Because nitroglycerin is used in an acute attack of angina. It's not used chronically because it generally has a short half-life. Sodium nitroprusside is the drug of choice. Sudden withdrawal of clonidine therapy causes rebound hypertension. I already mentioned rebound hypertension, clonidine, and your first dose effect is prazosin. Tamsulosin is preferred in benign prostatic hypertrophy. Now, what is the difference between prazosin and tamsulosin? Prazosin is a non-selective alpha blocker, whereas tamsulosin is a selective blocker of alpha-1 adrenergic receptor. Now, in your benign prostatic hyperplasia, you have two components, a static component and a dynamic component. So, dynamic component you will reduce by 5-alpha reductase inhibitors such as finasteride, whereas static component you will decrease by alpha-1 adrenergic blockers such as tamsulosin. Remember that. Tamsulosin and finasteride. Finasteride, 5-alpha reductase inhibitor. Tamsulosin is alpha-1 blocker. Anticholinergic drug which causes cycloplegia. It's in the name itself, cycloplegia. So it is cyclopentolate. Right. Phenylephrine? No, it's not there. Phenylephrine is basically beta-1 plus beta-2. D-tubocurarine is a non-depolarizing blocker. Itracuram is similar on the similar lines. Drug that is always given by intramuscular route is amphotericin B can be liposomal, rifampicin can be oral, isoniazid is oral, but is penicillin oral? No. Procaine penicillin is always given by an intramuscular route. Remember that. Plasma half-life of a drug determines its maintenance dose. Generally, we say that it takes 4 to 5 half-lives to achieve a steady state concentration, and accordingly, you will determine its maintenance dose. So again, summer 2019 is over. Let's move to the next one. Next one is winter 2018. Which of the following drug is used for treatment of beriberi? So it's a straightforward answer. Beriberi is vitamin vitamin B1 deficiency, which is thiamine. So the answer is A. Drug of choice for anaphylactic reaction is, always remember, it's adrenaline. And what's the dilution factor? It is 1:1000. Now, so they'll ask you treatment of anaphylactic shock. Always remember it is hydrocortisone, 100 mg. Along with that, you have an antihistaminic, which is chlorpheniramine or diphenhydramine maleate. And you'll have also adrenaline, because adrenaline is a physiological antagonist of histamine. It's a physiological antagonist. It's not a pharmacological antagonist. Remember that. Therapeutic index of a drug gives the information about its safety. Safety margin of a drug, therapeutic index. Low therapeutic index or low safety margin, what will you do? Therapeutic drug monitoring. It's over. Mechanism of statins is HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. Remember that. Decrease in absorption of cholesterol, it is ezetimibe. This question has also been repeated earlier, so I want you to have a look at this as well. The inhibition of HMG-CoA reductase is basically your statins. Which of the following route is used for administration of desmopressin? So just previously we saw desmopressin is basically intranasal vasopressin analog. So you'll give it by a nasal spray. Which of the following calcium channel blocker has action on both, that is heart and peripheral vessels? So your dihydropyridines have majority action on heart and peripheral vessels as well. That will call rebound tachycardia as well. Whereas verapamil and diltiazem, it will suppress your heart. It will not cause tachycardia, it will cause bradycardia. So the answer is basically nifedipine. Clevidipine, nifedipine, anyone is fine. It's not diltiazem, it's not verapamil. Drug used for reducing static component of benign hypertrophy is, again, the answer is, one sec. So I guess, so for static component, basically what is static is your increase in your mass of the cell. That is static, and dynamic is your smooth muscle tone. So for smooth muscle tone, you'll use an alpha blocker. So that is tamsulosin, and for static component, you have finasteride. Again, it was asked here as well. Tamsulosin is preferred in benign prostatic hypertrophy because now tamsulosin is alpha-1 adrenergic blocker, so that will be responsible for its dynamic component. Yeah, it's not static. For static, you have mass, and mass will be when your dihydrotestosterone will not be formed. So 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, which is finasteride, and for static component, for dynamic component, your smooth muscle tone of the prostate, which will ensure whether there's bladder outlet obstruction or not. For that, you'll use alpha blockers, selective alpha blockers, which is tamsulosin. So static component, finasteride, dynamic component, tamsulosin. I've told you its mechanism of action as well. Finasteride is 5-alpha reductase, tamsulosin is basically your alpha-1. Which of the following chelating agent is used for treatment of Wilson's disease? Now, Wilson's is because of copper excess, so you'll use D-penicillamine. And what is a typical finding you'll see in Wilson's disease? It's a Kaiser-Fleischer ring. Which of the following drug can be used as antiemetic in Parkinsonism? So the answer is domperidone. Now, this is a very important concept. Always remember metoclopramide versus domperidone. Both of them are basically dopamine antagonists. So what will happen? Metoclopramide will cross your blood-brain barrier. It will inhibit your or it will block your dopamine receptors. So your Parkinsonian effects will be aggravated. You don't want that. Domperidone does not cross your blood-brain barrier. As a result, it will always result in peripheral action because your chemosensitive trigger zone or CTZ, which as you say, it does not have a blood-brain barrier. So it will act there, but metoclopramide will cross your blood-brain barrier. It will worsen your Parkinsonism symptoms. Domperidone will not. So answer, always remember, drug of choice as an antiemetic in Parkinsonism is domperidone. Which of the following drug is not used for immediate management of myocardial infarction? Metoprolol, yes. Griselyl trinitrate, yes. Enalapril, yes. So all of them are basically used. Now, so the answer is none of the above. There's an acronym for drugs used in MI. I want you to go through it. So it is basically MOS-STATA or something. So it has a beta blocker. It has oxygen. It has nitrates. So just go through the mnemonic and you'll remember it. Which of morphine as well, right? Which of the following drug is contraindicated in glaucoma? So we'll not want a drug which will cause mydriasis. Does atropine cause mydriasis? Yes. So the answer is atropine. Atropine, home atropine, not used in glaucoma. Aspirin is used in coronary artery disease. Why? Because aspirin is an antiplatelet drug. How does it cause antiplatelet effect? By inhibiting formation of thromboxane A2, right? Which of the following beta blocker is not clinically used for the treatment of congestive cardiac failure? Answer is atenolol. Just remember it. Metoprolol, bisoprolol, carvedilol, all are used. Atenolol is not used. It's just to be remembered. Which of the following drugs are used for treatment of cardiogenic shock? Is it dopamine? Yes. Is it dobutamine? Yes. Ephedrine? No. So dobutamine is basically beta-1 selective. Dopamine will act on D1, beta-1 and alpha-1. Always remember it as DABA, DBA. So D1, beta-1, alpha-1. Dobutamine is exclusively beta-1. Butamine, B for beta-1. Ephedrine is not used, right? So the answer is both A and C. Loading dose of a drug is dependent upon, what is it dependent upon? It is dependent upon the initial volume of distribution of the drug, right? Measurement of plasma levels of following drugs helps in adjustment of their doses, except, so I have mentioned it. Is it digoxin? Is it a low therapeutic drug? Yes. Phenytoin? Yes. Lithium? Yes. Heparin? No. So the answer is heparin. So we have done with this as well. Now, summer 2018, gynecomastia, abnormal menstruation, hirsutism are seen due to long-term use of which of the following drug? The answer is spironolactone. So spironolactone is a aldosterone antagonist, furosemide, loop diuretic, hydrochlorothiazide, thiazide group of diuretics, amiloride and triamterene are basically potassium channel openers. Spironolactone, always remember. Gynecomastia and hirsutism are also seen in phenytoin. So as individual drugs, spironolactone and phenytoin are very important. Go through them. All of the following routes can be used for glyceryl trinitrate except sublingual, yes. Transcutaneous, yes. Intravenous, yes. Intramuscular, no. Nitrates are generally not given intramuscularly. Intramuscularly, you will give those drugs which are basically lipid soluble, right? So nitrates are water soluble. You won't use it. Esmolol has all of the following properties except ultra short beta blocking action, yes. Selective beta blocking action, yes. Very useful during surgical procedures, no. It has very short duration of action and hence it is not used. Intrinsic sympathomimetic action, yes, that's true. Adverse drug effect more frequently seen in children as compared to adults is peripheral neuropathy due to INH, no, it's equivalent. Muscle dystonia due to phenothiazines, yes. Phenothiazines, antipsychotics, all CNS drugs are to be used very carefully in children, be it opioids, be it phenothiazines, be it any antipsychotic. Arrhythmia due to digitalis and penicillin sensitivity, no. Both children and adults are equally predisposed to it. Drugs that exhibit therapeutic window phenomenon is which of the following drug? So the answer is so I'm not pretty sure of the answer. Alpha methyl dopa is pretty safe. I think the answer should be adenosine. Right. High protein binding of a drug. Now, if a protein is highly bound, that means it will not be it will not be distributed well in your peripheral tissues. So is it highly distributed? No. It means it is less distributed. Is it easy for glomerular filtration? No, because it is protein bound. Drug having prolonged duration of action? Yes, it will have a prolonged duration action because plasma proteins act as a buffer. Less prone for drug interactions? No. In fact, it is more prone because it can be displaced by other drugs from its binding proteins, right? Effective diuretic preferred in acute congestive glaucoma is acute congestive glaucoma and a diuretic. So the answer has to be mannitol. Yes, the answer should be mannitol. Loop diuretics are generally not used. Mannitol is an osmotic diuretic. Laxative indicated in hepatic NCAF to correct hyperammonemia is answer is lactulose. Why? Because your gut bacteria will ferment lactulose to lactic acid. Lactic acid will produce H plus. H plus will combine with ammonia to produce ammonium. Now ammonium is NH4 plus. It cannot cross your portal vein. It cannot reach your brain. If it was ammonia, since it is non-polar, it can reach. But ammonium is polar. So polar will not be lipid soluble. So it will not cross into your blood vessels. It will not reach your brain. Phenothiazines like chlorpromazine can stop emesis in all of the following cases except motion sickness. Why? Because in motion sickness, drug of choice is scopolamine or hyoscine. Radiological uremia post anesthesia, drug of choice is chlorpromazine or phenothiazine. Except for motion sickness, you will not use it. Fibrinolytic drug known for antigenicity is now anything which is derived from your microbial source is predisposed to cause some kind of anaphylactic reaction. So in earlier days, when we had TPA analogs such as streptokinase, there used to be a anaphylactic reaction. But now with urokinase, altiplase, tenecteplase, we don't have this. So the answer is B, streptokinase. Type of calcium channel blocked by nifedipine is L-type calcium channels. Always remember it is long-acting calcium channels, L-type voltage-gated calcium channels. Drug used for treatment of digitalis-induced ventricular tachyarrhythmia is, I mentioned it earlier, it is lignocaine, because lignocaine will cause bradycardia. So for digitalis-induced ventricular tachyarrhythmia, drug of choice is lignocaine. Again, there's a very famous question or very favorite question which is asked, drug of choice for paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia. So your answer is adenosine, IV adenosine, and the game is over, right? Cardioselective beta blocker with membrane stabilizing action and intrinsic sympathomimetic action is. So the answer is acebutolol. You need to remember it. Esmolol and acebutolol, both of them have intrinsic sympathomimetic action. Adrenaline in low dose can dilate blood vessels in. It can dilate blood vessels in your skeletal muscles. Again, there's no logic in it. You need to remember it. Because, yeah, just remember it. It's skeletal muscles. Atropine substitute in eye with duration of 6 hours is answer is tropicamide. Home atropine is still longer acting. Cyclopentolate is a very, very short acting. So it is generally used in children. Tropicamide is the answer. 6 hours is tropicamide. All of the following drugs are enzyme inducers and inhibitors. Now you need to remember what are inducers, what are inhibitors. So rifampicin, isoniazid, your barbitones, your phenytoin, all of them, your valproate, all of them are enzyme inducers. Your carbamazepine is a enzyme inhibitor. Grape juice is a enzyme inhibitor. So remember carbamazepine, grape juice. Right. So again, there was a confusion. The answer is sodium valproate because valproate is an inhibitor. So now which of the drugs are inhibitors? So you need to remember a mnemonic which is known as six phases: sodium valproate, isoniazid, cimetidine, ketoconazole, fluconazole, alcohol. Just remember that. SICK. SICK is sodium valproate, isoniazid, C is cimetidine, K is ketoconazole, F is fluconazole, and alcohol. All of them are enzyme inhibitors. Phenobarbital, phenytoin, carbamazepine, rifampicin, enzyme inducers. Your stick, which is valproate, isoniazid, enzyme inhibitors. Right. Remember it. It is again highly tested. The next set of questions: plasma protein binding of a drug leads to its. What should be the answer? The answer should be reduced excretion. Why? Because it is protein bound. Is it rapid action? Is it can cause rapid action because it will have rapid and prolonged action, rapid metabolism, yes, and tubular reoption. Yes. So the answer is basically reduced excretion because it is protein bound. These actions are basically not related to protein binding. It is generally with respect to bioavailability and excretion. So the answer is excretion. Daily drug requirement of vitamin B12, remember it, it is 100 microgram. Next question is drugs used to treat rare diseases are called. Now, drugs which satisfy the healthcare needs of majority of population, those are known as essential drugs. Drugs which are used for rare diseases, those are known as orphan drugs. Liposomal amphotericin B is an orphan drug. Hypertension during pregnancy is best treated by, now the current consensus is labetalol. Labetalol is a combined alpha plus beta blocker. If labetalol is not in the question, you should go for alpha methyl dopa. Which of the following agents do not cause bleeding in overdose? So the answer is aprotenin. Now, what is aprotenin? Just Google it, you'll get to know. Heparin, warfarin, urokinase, all of urokinase will break your clots. Warfarin, vitamin K antagonist, it will not allow your blood to clot. Heparin will again is a thrombolytic. So aprotenin is the answer. The following statements are related with metal poisoning and their antidotes. Match the wrong one. So the answer should be, see, penicillamine is basically your gold and copper both. Lead is calcium 88, right? Aluminium desferoxamine? No, it is desferoxamine is basically for iron. Arsenic is dimercaprol, that is right. So the answer is aluminium for desferoxamine. It's B, it's not A. Which of the following side effects may not be seen with hydrochlorothiazide? See, hydrochlorothiazide will cause hypercalcemia. It will not cause hypocalcemia. Is it given somewhere hypocalcemia? No, तो ये तो नहीं है. Does it cause hyperkalemia? No, it will cause hypokalemia. मैंने कहा था metabolically it will cause hyperlipidemia, hyperglycemia, hyperuricemia, but it will cause hypercalcemia, hypokalemia, hyponatremia, right? Remember, loop diuretics will decrease all the ions. Thiazide diuretics will decrease all the ions except for calcium. So hypercalcemia is seen, but hyperkalemia is not seen. So the answer is D. All of the following statements are true about heparin. Mucopolysaccharide, yes. Onset of action is fast, maybe yes. Cannot be given during pregnancy, no. Warfarin is not given during pregnancy, but you can give heparin. So the answer is C, because in COVID times, even I have seen, generally we give LMWS, there's no harm, but we do not give warfarin. Blocks action of factor 10A and thrombin, yes, it's true. 10A and thrombin inhibitors. Generally, drug eliminated from body after 2 plasma half-life is, now 1 plasma half-life, 50% drug eliminated. 2 half-life, 50 ka bhi 50% eliminated. That means 25 more eliminated. So how much is remaining? Remaining is 25%. So the drug eliminated is 75%. Which of the following statement is not true about prazosin? Orally effective, impairs carbohydrate metabolism, blocks alpha-1 receptors. First dose effect may occur with its use. So I have told you, first dose effect prazosin, yes. Blocks alpha-1, yes. Selective blocker. Which component? Dynamic component. Orally effective, yes. Impairs carbohydrate metabolism, no. Carbohydrate metabolism is a function of beta receptors. Prazosin does not act on beta receptors. So the answer is impairs carbohydrate metabolism. Preferred route of administration of streptokinase in acute myocardial infarction is intravenous. You will generally give intravenous streptokinase. You do not give intracoronary or intracardiac. You generally give intravenous. Dose response curve of a drug for same drug for producing different actions are widely separated. That means the drug is said to be highly selective, right? So at a particular concentration at one receptor, at a particular concentration for some other receptor, but the same drug. So it has widely separated. That means it is highly selective. If there are two drugs which have widely separation, that means it's a difference between their efficacy. Potency is when the topmost part is the same, whereas maximal effect is the same. That is potency. And with respect to a particular dose, when you compare your effect of the drug, that is efficacy. More efficacious, less efficacious. Potency is a maximum thing. Which of the following purgatives should be preferred to relieve constipation in pregnant lady? In pregnant lady, generally you will use biscodyl sodium. There's no doubt about it. Use biscodyl sodium. Toxicity because of D-tubocurarine can be preferably treated with. Now, D-tubocurarine is a non-polarizing muscle blocker. So what you want to do, you want to first, it's the receptor is blocked. So instead of that, you would want to use atropine and you'll use neostigmine. Why? Neostigmine is primarily used. Why? Because neostigmine is an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor. So your acetylcholinesterase will decrease. So your acetylcholine will increase, and that will compete with D-tubocurarine for the same receptors. But it is acting on NM type of receptors. You don't want central side effects. So block your central receptors, which will be done by block your muscarinic receptors, which will be done by atropine. And for activating your NM type of receptors, you will use neostigmine. Why? Because neostigmine will promote acetylcholine and it will compete with acetylcholine will compete with D-tubocurarine and displace it. So atropine to block muscarinic side effects, neostigmine to enhance or potentiate NM receptors. Which of the following drugs can produce SLE? Remember the drug is hydralazine. The answer given is incorrect. Concept of reactors and receptors in cells was generally given by Sir Henry Dale. There's a textbook by his name as well, Dale's Pharmacology, and Dale's vasomotor reversal as well. So remember, Sir Henry Dale is for receptors. Right. Which of the following is a parenteral anticoagulant? Answer is dabigatran. Now, what is dabigatran? Just Google it again. Rivaroxaban is a 10A, factor 10A inhibitor. Dalteparin, enoxaparin is low molecular weight heparin. Warfarin is basically your vitamin K antagonist. Right. Which of the following antiemetic drugs act as an antagonist at dopaminergic receptors? So the answer would be domperidone and metoclopramide. Antiemetic drug acts as a dopamine antagonist which crosses blood-brain barrier. Metoclopramide does not cross blood-brain barrier. Domperidone. So domperidone will be preferred in Parkinson's. Risk of myopathy increases on combining statins with. Now fibrates have an increasing risk of myopathy, but the exception is gemfibrozil. So the answer should be fenofibrate. How do fibrates act? Fibrates are basically PPAR agonists. So PPAR agonist is fibrates, right? Peroxisomal proliferator activator receptor. Which of the following drugs is used in Alzheimer's dementia? So it is rivastigmine. Alzheimer's dementia is again repetitively tested. Rivastigmine, donepezil, and galantamine. So rivastigmine, donepezil, galantamine, these are your acetylcholinesterase inhibitors, which will promote acetylcholine, and that will lead to a reduction in your symptoms of Alzheimer's dementia, because acetylcholine is responsible for memory. Which of the following is an adverse effect of atropine? Which is it? Answer is mydriasis. It is bound to do bradycardia, but we generally don't use atropine for causing mydriasis. So the answer is mydriasis. Right. Which of the following drug follows zero order kinetics at high doses? Again, you need to remember it. The answer is warfarin. Zero order kinetics, warfarin, and phenytoin. Both warfarin and phenytoin follow zero order kinetics at higher doses. Characteristics of competitive antagonists include all of the following except. Is it structurally similar to the agonist? Yes, because that's the reason it is combining with the receptor. Shift dose response curve of agonist to left? No. More amount of agonist will be required to produce the same effect. That means your dose response curve will shift to the right. More dosage of drug to produce the same effect. So shift of curve to the right. Always remember. No intrinsic activity. No, that's wrong. Occupy same site on the receptor. Yeah, that's true. So the answer is C. The answer is B. Shift dose response to the left. That's incorrect. Answer is shift dose response to the right. Which of the following statements is true for a drug with a high volume of distribution? High volume of distribution means, does it have high bioavailability? No, bioavailability is the amount of drug which reaches systemic circulation. तो अब ये system में तो रहा नहीं है, सब जगह फैल गया है, तो low bioavailability. Highly bound to plasma proteins is true. Which of the following is true? They have asked. Is highly bound to plasma proteins? No, that's incorrect, because it is loosely bound. That's why it has gone elsewhere. Cannot be easily removed by hemodialysis. Yes, that's true. That's true, because it has already distributed to tissues, so it cannot be removed by hemodialysis. So the answer is incorrect. The answer for 9 is C. It's not B. Which of the following drugs is prepared for terminating an attack of angina? First line of drug is always sublingual nitrates. So just go for glyceryl trinitrate. Beta blocker with additional potassium channel blocking property is, what is the answer? The answer is sotalol. So sotalol is basically potassium channel opener. Esmolol is Esmolol and acebutolol, both of them have intrinsic sympathomimetic activity. Propranolol is non-selective blocker, and sotalol is potassium opening activity. Following are common adverse effects of angiotensin receptor blockers. Now, angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors and angiotensin receptor blockers, one main difference: cough, dry brassy cough. Why? Because angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors, they'll inhibit your degradation of bradykinin as well. So you will have excess of bradykinin, which will promote a dry brassy cough. B for bradykinin, B for brassy cough. But if you use angiotensin receptor blockers, that means your bradykinin will be degraded, so you won't have cough, but you may have other side effects such as angioedema, fetopathic effect, acute renal failure. All of them are still possible because your receptor is blocked. So except for dry brassy cough, all of the following side effects are possible. So the answer for 6 is C. Drug of choice to terminate an attack of paroxysmal ventricular tachycardia, basically PSVT. Answer is IV adenosine, without any doubt. All of the following calcium channel blockers causes tachycardia except, now just look at the options: nifedipine, felodipine, amlodipine, verapamil. All of these C, B, and D, they are DHPs. Verapamil is a non-DHP. Verapamil, I said, it will not cause rebound tachycardia. Remember it will cause cardiac suppression. So the answer is verapamil. It does not cause tachycardia. Which of the following vitamins is used to prevent peripheral neuropathy induced by isoniazid? A drug of choice is pyridoxine. Remember it, B6. For peripheral neuropathy induced by isoniazid, you have to use B6. Which of the following drugs is used for oral treatment of glaucoma? As I mentioned, acetazolamide is oral, latanoprost, travoprost, bimatoprost, pilocarpine, all of them are topical. Timolol, generally it's topical as well. Timolol maleate eye drops. Acetazolamide is oral, carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. Following diuretics contraindicated in presence of congestive heart failure. Which one will you not use? So the answer is mannitol. Basically, mannitol is not used in congestive cardiac failure because there is no edema as such which you need to reduce. It is basically volume which you need to excrete. So there is no osmotic action as such, right? Which of the following is a primary indication of adrenaline? I told you adrenaline is a physiological antagonist of histamine. So the answer is anaphylactic shock. Person planning to travel to a hill station by bus complains of previous experiences of bout of vomiting during travel. Which of the following drugs will you recommend to prevent this condition? Now, since scopolamine is not given, you will generally go for cinnarizine. Ondansetron has nothing to do with motion sickness, so you will not give ondansetron. Ondansetron is basically your anti-emetic, but not for motion sickness. Promethazines are used for radiations, uremia, post-cancer, right? Post-cancer vomiting. For normally, you'll use ondansetron, which is 5-HT3 antagonist, cinnarizine, and scopolamine is generally used for motion sickness. So the answer would be 15th is C, cinnarizine. These are the following drugs is used systemically in acute angle closure glaucoma. Again, it has been repeated multiple times. That's the reason I'm telling you MCQs are very high yield. Do not make the mistake of skipping them, right? The answer is acetazolamide, carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. On oral loading dose of a drug is dependent on the following clinical pharmacokinetic parameters except bioavailability, yes. Volume of distribution, yes. Target plasma concentration, maybe. Clearance. So the answer to this question, it's generally not an easy one. Volume of distribution is generally related to its excretion. It is generally not to do anything with initial oral loading dose, right? Actually, I'm not very sure of its what the answer to this question is. I'm confused between answer C and D because bioavailability and volume of distribution both will generally determine your loading dose, but I'm not sure about C and D. If you get an answer, discuss with your friends, and I'll accept that I am not pretty sure of the answer. Again, the next question is with respect to your phases of clinical trials. Which phase of clinical trial is done in healthy volunteers? Only one phase, that is phase 1. Phase 1, healthy volunteers. Phase 2 and phase 3, deceased. Phase 2 is less number of volunteers, 3 is more number of volunteers. Phase 4 is post-marketing surveillance. Following anticoagulants preferred for prevention of DVT in pregnancy, without any hesitation, it has to be heparin analog. So low molecular weight heparin such as enoxaparin. So the answer for 11th will be C. It's C. Drug of choice for copper chelation in Wilson's disease is copper, penicillamine. Gold, penicillamine. Defiripon is basically defiripon and desferoxamine. Both of them are used for iron, right? Iron chelators. Of the following effects of OP poisoning cannot be reversed by atropine. Your nicotinic action will not be, changed by or altered by atropine. So the answer would be nicotinic is NM. Now muscles. So respiratory paralysis is not reversed. Which drugs will you use? You'll use pralidoxime or obidioxime, right? Because it is it will displace, and it is a reactivator of acetylcholinesterase, so it will degrade acetylcholine, and gradually the patient will come back to normal. Or which of the following drugs is an indicator? This is the question itself is incorrect, so I'll not delve into it. The drug that has full affinity and no intrinsic activity on a receptor is antagonist. Right, it is antagonist. It will bind full affinity here, but not act, that is antagonist. If it would act in the reverse direction, it would have been an inverse agonist. If it is acting between 0 and maximum, that would be partial agonist. Right. Following statements about sublingual route of administration are true except. So first pass metabolism is bypassed, true. Medicaments spread over buccal mucosa, true. Lipid soluble drugs can be administered, no. Always remember, it is the prototype example of nitrates. Nitrates are water soluble, ionic, so it's not lipid soluble, so you'll not. So answer is C. You suitable for emergency? Yes. Which of the following drug has maximum efficacy with respect to inhibition of gastric acid production? Without a doubt, it has to be proton pump inhibitors or PPI. So it is omeprazole and rabeprazole. Rabeprazole is the longest acting PPI. Which of the following is the drug of choice for constipation during pregnancy? It has to be Biscodil. Answer is Biscodil. Remember it. If Biscodil is generally, they do not give Biscodil and lactulose together. Lactulose is generally used for hepatic NCAF and constipation. But if in pregnancies they have asked, you can use lactulose better than Biscodil. So remember, it's lactulose more than Biscodil. If lactulose is not given, you can go for Biscodil. Which of the following is drug of choice for termination of an attack of supraventricular tachycardia? Again, the answer is adenosine. Female patient, essential hypertension, prescribed antihypertensive drug, developed hair growth on face. Which of the following drugs may be responsible for this effect? So the answer is minoxidil. Minoxidil causes hair growth. Right. Potassium channel opener. Which of the following is an antioxidant vitamin? So vitamin C, vitamin E. So is E given? No. So the answer is ascorbic acid. Right. Vitamin B is not responsible for any antioxidant effect. Next questions. Which of the following is a prodrug that requires an acidic pH for its activation? Now your proton pump inhibitors themselves require gastric medium for their or acidic medium for their activation. So the answer is omeprazole. Answer for 16 is A. In case of a new drug, adequate studies in pregnant women have failed to demonstrate a risk to fetus, but animal studies have shown an adverse effect on the fetus. So what is the category of the drug? So category is basically B. So category B is in humans no effect, but in animals it is. So cost benefit analysis के हिसाब से हम use करेंगे, तो mostly it is category B. Which hypolipidemic drug acts through PPAR? I already told you it is fibrate, so the answer is gemfibrozil. Ezetimibe is your cholesterol absorption inhibitor. Which of the following drugs shows Hoffman elimination? Always remember, Hoffman elimination is typical for atracurium, not vecuronium, rocuronium, or anything. It is atracurium. Which of the following is a stimulant purgative? Stimulant purgative is Biscodil. Locusate is a stool softener. Lactulose is an osmotic. Liquid paraffin is a lubricant. So 12th is answer is A, Biscodil. All of the following are synthetic phase 2 reactions. Always remember phase 1, phase 2. Phase 1 only 3 reactions, O, H and R. Oxidation, reduction and hydrolysis. Phase 2 anything except that. Glucuronidation, acetylation, glycine conjugation, anything. Acetylation, methylation. So all are synthetic phase 2 reactions except hydrolysis. OHR, oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis, phase 1. Which of the following is a GP2B3 antagonist? Answer is abscizumab. Answer is abscizumab. Ticlopidin and clopidogrel, both of them are, I mentioned it, it is the ADP fibrinogen receptor inhibitors. CY2Y12, right? Which of the following drug can be used in heparin-induced thrombocytopenia for short term? Now again, it's a trick question. Remember, it is argatroban. Argatroban, right? So argatroban is a heparin antagonist as well, and it is used in heparin-induced thrombocytopenia. If you search argatroban, your first thing on internet would be heparin-induced thrombocytopenia. First dose effect, without doubt, prazosin. It is B. Rebound hypertension, clonidine. Following are cholinergic activators used in Alzheimer's disease. See, it was asked the next year. And what were the 3 drugs? galantamine, donepezil, and rivastigmine. It's not pralidoxime, right? Pralidoxime is an acetylcholinesterase activator, but it will degrade acetylcholine. It will worsen your dementia. You don't want that. Rivastigmine, galantamine, donepezil. So the following is avoided with propranolol. Which of the drugs will you not use? You will not use calcium channel blockers. Which calcium channel blockers? Non-DHPs. C, A, C, and D. All of them are DHPs. The answer is verapamil or diltiazem. Why? Because as I am mentioning it repetitively, it causes cardiac suppression. It does not cause rebound tachycardia. It only causes bradycardia. So bradycardia plus bradycardia, your heart will go into block. It will lead to a conduction block and the heart will stop in diastole. You don't want that. All of the following are used in treatment of narrow angle closure glaucoma, except now which is the anticholinergic homatropin. It will cause Medriatic, you won't use that. Acetazolamide, yes. Systemically, orally. Mannitol, yes. Pilocarpine, yes. Tamsulosin is used in benign hypertrophy of prostate because of its ability to block alpha-1 receptors. Which component? Which component? Dynamic component, alpha-1, smooth muscle hypertrophy. Which of the following drug can chelate circulating iron by oral route? Now, so the answer for that is important. Desferoxamine is oral. Defibrone is IV or parenteral. Always remember. Aprepitant acts by the following receptors. It is basically neurocephalin 1 antagonism. Just remember it. Frequency of administration of a drug depends upon its biological half-life. Why? Because generally 4 to 5 half-lives requires a steady state concentration, and according to that, you'll use the how frequently you need to dose that drug. So frequency of administration is with respect to the biological half-life or steady state concentration. Atropine is combined with diphenoxylate. Again, a very, very important question asked repetitively. Diphenoxylate is an opioid which has an abuse potential. Atropine will limit the abuse potential of diphenoxylate, but it is basically used to control diarrhea because, as I have mentioned, opiates can cause constipation, but they have an abuse liability. So in order to not abuse that, you'll use atropine. So atropine to decrease its abuse liability. Preferred drug of choice in treatment of benign BPH is tamsulosin, right? Why not prazosin? Because prazosin is non-selective. Basically, tamsulosin is more selective. So tamsulosin alpha-1. All of the following retard absorption of oral iron. Phytates in tea, yes. Calcium, yes. Chelating agents, yes. Vitamin C. Acidic medium promotes iron absorption. So vitamin C is the answer. Drug of choice in the treatment of hypertension in pregnancy. Currently it is labetalol. Answer not given. Alpha-methyl dopa. Rickets osteomalacia. Rickets vitamin D deficiency in children. Osteomalacia vitamin D deficiency in adults. So answer is vitamin D. Next question. All of the following are properties of, sorry, which is the next question. Yeah. Drug of choice for treatment of chemotherapy induced emesis is promethazine. Normal emesis, ondansetron. Motion sickness, scopolamine. Which of the following drugs produces mydriasis without cycloplegia? So which will cause it? Answer is C, phenylephrine. Because phenylephrine will only act on your iris muscles. It will not act on your muscles of the lens. So it will not cause cycloplegia. It will only cause dilatation of your iris, right? Mydriasis. Which of the following drug is administered as a loading dose? Lidocaine or lignocaine. Generally in anesthesia, we use lignocaine as a loading dose. Which of the following drugs is an example of a product? So captopril, lisinopril, endopril, perindopril, all of them are basically products. Wow, my bad. It's not given the option. The option is L-Dopa because dopa decarboxylase converts L-Dopa into dopamine. Right? So the answer is L-Dopa. Why? And why do we give L-Dopa? Because it crosses blood-brain barrier, whereas dopamine does not cross. So why not give a prodrug form? So eighth is C. Inverse agonist is a drug which will bind, has affinity, but what will be the action? Action will be reverse. So produce an effect in opposite direction as to that of an agonist. Preferred chelating agent for arsenic poisoning is arsenic is British anti-Lewisite. D-penicillamine is gold and copper. Calcium sodium EDTA, disodium EDTA is lead. Desferoxamine is iron, which is oral, and defibrone is parenteral. Drugs is an enzyme inhibitor. अभी कौन सा enzyme inhibitor है? Cimetidine. What did I say? It was sodium valproate. बाद में और क्या था? SiCK. और क्या था? Isoniazid था. C for cimetidine, K for ketoconazole alcohol. बराबर. So phenetidine, phenytoin, rifampicin, carbamazepine, all of them are inducers. So rifampicin is an inducer, isoniazid is an inhibitor. Phenytoin is an inducer, valproate is an inhibitor. Anti-TB and anti-epileptic. Dry cough adverse effect seen with AC inhibitors is because of, told you, cough, brassy cough, bradykinin. All of the following options are indicated for propranolol except hypertension, prince metal angina, thyrotoxic, migraine. Migraine के लिए yes, thyrotoxicosis yes, hypertension. Prince metal नहीं, prince metal is variant angina. Beta blocker दोगे, what will happen? It will worsen. It will cause further vasoconstriction. Chest pain will increase. Dale's vasomotor reversal is seen with adrenaline. Remember it. Penicillin induced anaphylaxis. Any anaphylaxis is basically class A or type A adverse drug reaction. Sorry, it is type 1 my bad. It is type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, but it is basically it can be seen in any anaphylaxis. Type A is, in terms of adverse drug reaction, is basically an extension of the same thing. In an overdose of the same thing, when the, such as insulin, when you give a large dose of insulin, it can cause hypoglycemia. So that is a type A or a type A type of adverse drug reaction. Type B is anaphylaxis. Remember it. Right. So winter 2015, only 3 more left. Microsomal enzyme induction can be useful in. It's again not a very good question, and I'm not aware of it, so I'll not comment on it. Loading dose of a drug is governed by its, no doubt about it, loading dose is volume of distribution. 0.693 upon volume of distribution is their loading dose. Remember it. Or plasma concentration upon your volume of distribution. Yes. And volume of distribution formula is your loading dose upon your current plasma concentration. Right. Name the drug which can induce its own metabolism. What is that drug? Carbamazepine. Carbamazepine is a self-inducer. Furosemide should be preferred over hydrochlorothiazide when hypertension is accompanied by it should be accompanied by congestive cardiac failure. Why? Because furosemide is a loop diuretic, so it will promote excretion of a large amount of water and it will prevent your volume overload. Calcium channel blocker which crosses blood-brain barrier is, which of them? It is nimodipine. Why nimodipine? Very, very important. Which, if it is crossing blood-brain barrier, that means it is effective in subarachnoid hemorrhage. This question has been asked again. Drug of choice for subarachnoid hemorrhage is nimodipine. Right? M se mental yaad rakho, mental is brain. All the following statements are true about metoclopramide. Antagonizes D2. Yes. Muscle dystonia in children. Yes. Decreases lower esophageal sphincter tone. Yes, it can cause acid reflux. Antagonizes 5-HT3. No. 5-HT3 antagonist क्या है? Ondansetron. Primary mechanism, beneficial effect of GTN is basically it will, what will it do? Redistribution of product. No, it will cause vasodilation. So it will reduce your cardiac preload and it will cause coronary vasodilation. So your first is basically the answer should be A, increase in total coronary flow. Secondary is reduction in preload, but primary is increase in total coronary blood flow. Shortest acting neuromuscular blocking agent is, even I don't know that. So the answer is, remember it, it is mivacurium. Thiopentone is the shortest phenobarbital barbiturate, and mivacurium is the shortest neuromuscular blocking agent. Esmolol is the shortest beta blocker. Cipralex acts by, I already mentioned, it is reactivating cholinesterase enzyme. BAL is used in all except organic mercury, cadmium, yes, lead. So the answer, I think it should be, the answer given is cadmium. I'm not pretty sure, but just cross check it. Which of the following drug can be prescribed safely in pregnancy? AC inhibitors, no. Causes fetopathy. Renal agenesis. Warfarin, no. Ear won't develop. Heparin, yes, you can give. Beta blocker, again contraindicated in pregnancy. Treatment for SIADH is vasopressin. Intranasal vasopressin is basically ADH deficiency. And for SIADH, it is demiclocycline. There's no other option. It has to be demiclocycline. Drug of choice for SVT is again, it is, where is it? IV, supraventricular tachycardia. If adenosine is not given, you will use deltiazem. Which of the following is non-catecholamine sympathomimetic drug? Sympathomimetic non-catecholamine. 1 second. Yeah, so following drug is used in narco analysis, the answer is scopolamine, right? Following third generation beta blocker, answer is nadolol, right? Dopamine, ephedrine, dopamine, all of them are catecholamines. Isoproterenol is not. So the answer is C. Yeah. All of the following are properties of vitamin C except plays role in the formation of collagen. Yes. Hydroxychlorine and hydroxylysine. Cross linkages of collagen fibers. Yes. Oxidizing agent. No. It is an antioxidant. Enhances iron absorption. Yes. Can be used to acidophorine. Yes. Oxidizing agent. No. Answer is B. Answer given here is incorrect. All of the following are true about dimercaprol except 15th. Oily pungent liquid, yes. Desirable to maintain its plasma levels in excess, yes, because it is a antidote. Contraindicated in iron poisoning, yes, because in iron poisoning you will use uh, desferoxamine and demipiron. Urinary pH must be kept acidic. No, it has to be kept basic. Systemic antacid was, so which of the following is a systemic antacid? Right, sodium bicarbonate. Magnesium hydroxide, calcium carbonate, all are basically local. It's not systemic. Systemic when there is acidosis. So drug of choice for acidosis is sodium bicarbonate. Which of the following agent is preferred to treat NSAID-induced ulcer? So NSAID-induced ulcer, you will use prostaglandin analogs. So you will use misoprostol. E. Which of the following prokinetic agent produces extrapyramidal side effect? Metoclopramide. Why? Because it will cross blood-brain barrier. Domperidone will not cross blood-brain barrier. Which of the following drugs is not a part of any H. pylori regimen? Metronidazole, yes. Omeprazole, yes. Bismuth compounds, yes. Clarithromycin, yes. Cisapride, mosapride, not used. Causes cardiac arrhythmias, not used. 11th is D. Anticoagulant of choice in pregnancy, heparin. Anti-anginal effect of nitrates in stable angina is by basically your preload reduction in preload. Following hypolipidemic drug effective in increasing HDL cholesterol, only one drug is known to increase HDL cholesterol. It is basically your vitamin uh, uh, niacin, right? The answer is niacin, vitamin B3 or niacin. Statins produce their lipid lowering effects by inhibition of HMG-CoA reductase. Inhibition of HMG-CoA reductase, right? Which of the following drugs prolong survival in patients with CHF? Only 4 categories of drugs are shown to improve your survival. AC inhibitors, ARBs, aldosterone antagonists, and beta blockers. All of them will prevent remodeling. So losartan should be the answer. It is an ARB. All of the following have cholinergic action except donepezil, tacrine, galantamine. So what should be the answer? Galantamine, yes. Donepezil, yes. Tacrine is again a cholinesterase inhibitor, yes. Memantine, memantine has no role. It stimulates your memory, but it has no role as cholinergic action. Next question. Which of the following is not a pharmacological effect of atropine? Decreased salivary secretion, yes. Decreased AV conduction, no. It will not cause decreased AV conduction. Tachycardia, yes. Mydriasis, yes. It will cause increased AV conduction. So the answer is B. Which statement is true for first order kinetics of drug elimination? What should be the answer? First order means rate of elimination is constant proportion of drug is present in the body, which is, so the proportion or the amount of proportion is the ratio of the drug which is eliminated, that remains constant. If it was zero order kinetics means a constant amount of drugs, and first order kinetic means a constant proportion of drug is eliminated. Loading dose of a drug depends upon volume of distribution, no doubt about it. Which of the following is a prodrug? Enalapril. Captopril, enalapril, prodrug. L-dopa, prodrug. Salbutamol, beta agonist. Clonidine, centrally acting sympathomimetic, centrally acting sympatholytic. Acetazolamide is carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. Which of the following drug produces receptors in the produces prokinetic action by acting on receptors in, one second, I can't read it. Receptors in the gastrointestinal tract. Answer is cisapride, mosapride, but they are generally not used because of fatal arrhythmias. Drug of choice for treatment of anaphylactic shock is basically adrenaline. Mydriasis without cycloplegia, phenylephrine. Yes, that's true. Competitive type of drug antagonism in senin. Senin. Is it atropine acetylcholine? Yes. Arsenic BL? No, because these are antidotes. C is not an antidote. A is not an antidote. If it would have been epinephrine, again, it is not a, I mentioned it again, it is not a pharmacological antagonism, it is a physiological antagonism. Pernicious anemia because of vitamin B12 deficiency. So answer is C. C and B both, but generally it is mainly because of vitamin B12. Which of the following drugs is most likely to produce dry mouth, dysgeusia, and angioedema as a side effect? Without a doubt, has to be captopril. Now, the side effect of drugs is also in the mnemonic captopril, so remember the mnemonic of captopril. So the answer is enalapril. Right. Which amongst the following hypolipidemic drugs act by inhibiting HMG co-inhibitors? Without a doubt, it has to be statins. Fibrates, PPAR alpha. Niacin is your increase in HDL. Cholesterol, again, inhibition of cholesterol absorption, ezetimibe and cholesterol. All of the following drugs are available in the form of transdermal patch. Scopolamine, yes. Clonidine, yes. Hypertension, fentanyl, yes. Neostigmine, no. Neostigmine is used as an IV drug. Morning sickness, early pregnancy treated best by which of the following drug? Pyridoxine, vitamin B6. Pyridoxine, where did we study it earlier? It is also used in peripheral neuropathy, which is induced by isoniazid. Atropine combined with loperamide or diphenoxylate, both of them, to reduce its abuse liability, loperamide. Diuretic of choice for treatment of pulmonary edema with renal failure. Answer has to be furosemide. Yes, furosemide is furosemide or Lasix, 40 mg Lasix, very popular for reducing your pulmonary edema. Antidote for treatment of warfarin toxicity is vitamin K antagonist to give vitamin K. Therapeutic index of a drug primarily refers to its safety. Phase 1 clinical trials, healthy volunteers. Ameliorative test for myasthenia gravis is basically hydrophonium test because it's a short acting. So in one, you'll have, if it is a succinyl block, you'll have worsening. If you use hydrophonium, you'll have improvement. Which one of the following vitamins is most likely to produce teratogenic? Vitamin K. You should not give vitamin K. Has been shown to produce teratogenicity. Right. Vitamin K and vitamin A as well, both. So vitamin A more than vitamin K. If it's an option, go for vitamin A. Retinoic acid is generally contraindicated. So the better option would always be vitamin A. Right. Yeah. So only 2 papers left. Which amongst the following biotransformation reaction phase 2? मैंने क्या बोला? OHR छोड़ के बाकी सब. Oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis छोड़ के conjugation. Bethnicol is indicated for treatment of neurogenic bladder atony. Why? Because Bethnicol will promote bladder contraction. So in atony, your bladder won't contract. So there is urinary retention. So in order to promote passage of urine, you will use Bethnicol. Drug having extensive plasma protein binding is likely to have. Now plasma protein binding high है, मतलब volume of distribution कम होगा, obviously. So the answer has to be C. Which of the following drug is classified as an osmotic purgative? Lactulose. Rocucet is stool softener. Methyl cellulose is a fiber which will increase bulk. Bisacodyl is promote peristalsis. Which of the following adverse drug reaction belong to type A? Type A मतलब क्या था? Prolonged, basically prolongation of your therapeutic effect. So prolonged apnea due to succinylcholine, yes. SLE due to hydralazine, again a type of anaphylactic type thing, so that will be B. Anaphylaxis to parental iron, again B, so it will not be. So type A is basically extension of your therapeutic effect. So the answer would be prolonged apnea due to succinylcholine. Predominant mechanism of pain relief by nitrates in classic stable angina is dilation of your coronary arteries, right? Increased blood flow. Oral absorption of oral iron, मैंने क्या बोला, जिसमें acidic environment ज़्यादा होगा, oral iron absorption is better, so answer is vitamin C. Drug of choice for treatment of early mushroom poisoning. Now, early mushroom poisoning has basically acetylcholine-like things, cholinergic things. So you don't want that. You'll use atropine. Antidote for treatment of heparin overdosage is so heparin overdosage. So the antagonist is protamine sulfate. Chelating agent used for treatment of arsenic poisoning. Arsenic is BAL, dimercaprol, British anti-Lewisite. Prostaglandin analog treatment of glaucoma, latanoprost, travoprost, bimatoprost. Orally, topically. Acetazolamide, orally. Which of the following condition contraindication to digoxin therapy? WPW. CHF में तो यूज करेंगे, atrial fibrillation में भी यूज करेंगे, PSVT में फर्स्ट विल यूज adenosine, वो नहीं है तो deltazen, वो नहीं है तो digoxin. But why not WPW? Because WPW is an aberrant pathway. अगर उसको भी block कर दिया तो there will be no conduction, again there will be an hard block. You don't want that. Anti-H. pylori regimen include all except bismuth, yes, metronidazole, yes, amox नहीं तो clarithromycin. You will not use sucralfate. Answer is sucralfate. Which amongst the following calcium channel blockers preferred for treatment of subarachnoid hemorrhage? Without doubt, it has to be nimodipine. The answer given is incorrect. It is not nicardipine, it is nimodipine. Right. So it can cause blood-brain barrier. Long and continuous exposure of a receptor to an antagonist can lead to down regulation of that receptor. Down regulation or desensitization, both of them are true. So answer A and C is true. Both of them are true. Degradation is also true. So what should be the answer? Basically can lead to all except upregulation. It will not lead to upregulation. A, C and D are correct. B is incorrect. Which of the following antihypertensive drugs safe for treatment of hypertension in pregnancy? 10th time, I guess, alpha methyl dopa. So we are at our last thing, antilipidemic drug that prevents hypercholesterolemia by inhibiting intestinal absorption of cholesterol. Ezetimibe. Ezetimibe is the answer. 16th is B. Reasons for reducing drug doses in elderly? Yes, decreased renal function, such bath. Increased responsiveness to adrenergic receptors, true as well. Decreased plasma protein binding? Yes. So it can lead to drug overdose. Decrease in lean body mass? No, that's not a thing. 15th is, so answer is B. Orally active ion chelator? Orally active bola to desferoxamine. Parenterally deferiprone. Which are which one of the following drugs is a proven human teratogen? Which would it be? Warfarin. You don't give warfarin, right? What do you give? Heparin. All of the following drugs act as D2 receptors except dopamine agonist, domperidone antagonist, metoclopramide antagonist, dobutamine नहीं. B से मैंने क्या बोला? Beta 1. So dobutamine is beta 1. Dopamine is D1, beta 1, A1. Dabba. Folinic acid is specifically indicated for folinic acid. So it will be used to treat methotrexate toxicity. For pregnancy, you will give folic acid, pernicious anemia, folic acid, anti-epileptic, phenytoin, folic acid. For folinic, specifically for methotrexate. Streptokinase overdose is treated with epsilon aminocaproic acid. Remember that. Warfarin overdose, vitamin K. Heparin overdose, your protamine sulfate. Which of the following drug is employed to break resistance to thiazide diuretics and refractory edema? So what should be your answer? Refractory edema, drug of choice, spironolactone, no doubt about it. Subpharmacological dose of atropine is added to diphenoxylate or your lomeparide. So that is for blocking your abuse potential. Yes, so answer is D, discourage abuse potential. Following laxative lowers blood ammonia level in hepatic NCAF. Without a doubt, it is lactulose. And finally, the last 6 questions. Nitrate which does not undergo first pass metabolism, it is your isosorbite mononitrate. Remember that. Drug of choice in PSVT, adenosine. Short elimination half-life of esmolol is because of why? because it is rapidly eliminated by kidney. You don't have any trick. You need to remember it. Which one of the following drugs specifically reverses muscle paralysis by competitive blockers? Muscle paralysis, neostigmine. Always remember it has to be neostigmine, not physostigmine. For drugs with first order kinetics, time required to achieve steady states can be predicted by its half-life. Half-life, because a constant proportion of drug is cleared, right? And all of the following are local routes. Topical, yes. Intra-articular, yes. Intrathecal, yes. Intra-articular मतलब जो joints में देते हैं. Intrathecal is subarachnoid space. Rectal, no. 50% will go to your portosystemic, 50% to your systemic. So it is not a local route. So with this, we have completed close to 7 to 14 and 6, close to 120 MCQs in a short span of time. Nearly 60 to 70 were repeated. Go through this at 2x pace, but it is my humble request that you will benefit immensely. And after you come out from my exams, out of 20 questions, I'm sure you will at least score 12 and above, which is a great score to pass. So thank you. And this is Jay Shah signing off.